Hi, Thomas. This is Arrow Collins. How are you doing today?
Okay.
We were going to talk about your book today.
That'd be great.
Excellent. And what a book it is.
Well, nice of you to say so. We think the same ourselves.
Let's start it off by asking the question. It says, looking for legends. Have we redefined the word legend? Because, I mean, these people here, they're just amazing, what you introduced to us, and so we see your side of the story.
Well, again, it's not so much my side of the story, it's their side of the story, because they're the ones who lived it.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. But you were out there on that path with them, were you not?
Well, we met them along the way. Most of them are dead, but that doesn't mean they're no longer alive. And we tend to find that most of our best friends are dead. They can't talk back to us.
Yeah. See, that's what I think. That's the connection that I have with this book, is the fact that I've always believed that our story is a continuation, and what you've done is you've captured that continuation, and you're sharing it with brand new generations.
Well, like the subtitle says, let us take you somewhere you've never been before and introduce you to our friends.
I love that. Where did you gain the confidence, you and your wife, to be able to take a journey like this and then to decide you're going to write about it?
We fell into it. Everybody's a little, getting your toes wet traveling, and we traveled with some groups for a while. We sponsored some groups for a while, and then we got the courage to go off by ourselves. And what we found was we were looking for places the farthest away and the farthest out of the way that we could find. And we kept running into people, alive or dead, who represented the spirit of the place. Yep. And we couldn't believe we didn't know about them before we went there.
Wow.
And in time, we weren't looking for places anymore. We were looking for people. And I'll give you one example which kind of blows your mind when you think about it. We went to a place called El Chaton in Patagonia, where they have two wonderful mountains to climb. And the people we learned about there were Yvonne Chouinard and Doug Tompkins. Have you ever heard of either of them?
No, sir.
Yvonne Chouinard and Doug Tompkins were, California beach bums and rock climbers, and they decided in 1968 that they'd go down and drive in a van for 16,000 odd miles. In 1968, it was a good time to be driving around in a van. And then they climbed a mountain that had only been climbed twice before. And on the way back, one of them said to the other one, well, I really like this outdoor stuff, and I think I'll create a clothing company and name it after where we just were.
Oh, wow.
Patagonia. And his buddy said, well, I like the outdoor stuff too, and I've created a clothing company which I named after the hardest side of the mountain to climb. North Face.
Unbelievable.
So here are these two guys, and they ended up being lifetime best friends and great friends of the planet and environmentalists, and that's why you travel, because you find things that, what's the line? What's the best test of a good idea? It's obvious in hindsight.
Yes. Yep. So true. The one thing that you also introduce us in this book is the art of meeting people, new people, because, for the longest time, we've stopped meeting people face to face or even wanting to hear their stories. All we want to do is just get on the internet and get whatever we can as quick as we can.
It's fun. It's all about not being afraid.
Yeah.
It's all about, frankly, it's all about Which would you rather have, dreams or memories?
Right. 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 See, when I came across that inside this book, would I rather have a dream or would I have a memory? I want the memories because I want to be able to write about it. I want to be able to have the conversations about it because that to me, I'm so addicted to having conversations.
Well, you can't have a memory. You can't have a good memory unless you had a dream beforehand.
That's so true.
Because, some people just go through their lives and some people march through their lives. And, the difference really is, have you learned to go to something or do all you do is go from something? Is it an escape or is it a search? And just a simple change of attitude changes your world.
When did you discover inside your heart that your wisdom was going to teach other generations?
Well, you're nice to think that I have any wisdom. And I guess all I can say is this is all a risk. I mean, nobody may be interested, but if that's the case, I had a good time. And my wife, Barbara Scott, who is my co-author, and as I tell everyone, she's the inspiration and I'm the perspiration.
Dang.
But in any case, I owed it to myself, I owed it to Barbara, and hopefully there'll be people who feel the same way. And if they don't, well, we did our best.
Is that the reason why Barbara's name is first on the book, because she is the inspiration?
Absolutely.
Oh,
we
that's
went
beautiful. Everywhere
together. She's 92 years old, and she's still my girlfriend.
I love it. One thing that you do inside this book, you and Barbara, Thomas, is that you put the maps in there. In this day and age of Google Maps, you put authentic maps, and I found that so fascinating to just sit there and stare at them.
Well, the nice thing about maps is you can tell the story without reading the story. Mm-hmm. And you could take, for example, the map of Europe before World War I would have shown Austria coming down much further into Italy. After World War I, Italy got that northern area as part of itself, but the people who lived in that area, who formerly spoke German, who think of them as people from Sud Tyrol, they still live there. They're still 70% of the population, and if you go through there, you'll see that all the different cities and towns have two names, one in German, one in Italian.
Wow.
And there's a gentleman who grew up there. His name was Reinhold Messner. And have you ever heard of him?
No.
He's the greatest mountain climber in history.
Yes, when you say that, yes, sir.
And he climbed the first person to climb the 14 tallest mountains in the world, and to climb the 7 summits, the tallest mountain on each of the 7 continents. And he's created 6 Messner mountain museums all across that northern area of Italy. And we took a tour. It was great. We learned a lot. So there's an example. Geography is destiny.
Yeah. I love that. Do you feel the land was calling out to you and Barbara, that all these different areas of interest, it was almost like you need to write this story one day, but you need to go through the experience first?
Well, we didn't start off with the idea that we were going to write a story. we just found these people along the way, and we kept finding these people along the way. And at some point we said, well, let's stop looking for places and keep looking for people.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And it worked out.
Yeah.
And we're pleased. There's one place we didn't get to yet, but it's always nice to have the next trip.
Yeah.
And that's Timbuktu.
Yeah, I was shocked as a kid to learn that actually existed. Because, I mean, as kids, you know, we would always joke around, where are you going, Timbuktu? And it was a joke, but it really does exist.
It's a little dangerous now because of the ISIS people, but someday, and we'll get there. And if we don't, our favorite trip has always been the next one.
Yes.
Because you live on the anticipation, you live on the dream, you plan for it, you research it, books to read, maps to study, and yes, we've got about 100 maps in the book, and they were all specially made for us by a private cartographer. We have 150 photographs in the book. Not that we're photographers, they're photographs that we found. We tried to put them all together so they'll tell the story. So if you want to go, they'll give you some hints. But if you don't want to go, you can still share the experience.
See, that's why I love the way that you use that word share, because that's a giving person, because it's not like I'm going over there because of me. Everything that you've been saying is sharing. It's about being a part of.
Hey, you know, there are two ways to be, competitive or cooperative. And I think cooperation has always been the best way to be.
Mm-hmm. Wow. So where can people go to find out more information about this book and about you guys?
Well, of course, we have a website, www.lookingforlegends.com, and you might precede it with Scott and Tarantino. You can buy the book if you're on the website just by clicking Amazon or Barnes & Noble. They're the easiest ways to get them. And we'll probably fill out the website a little bit more with more information, but it's a teaser now. And you know, if you're out there listening and you want to get lucky, give it a shot.
That's it. Well, you've got to come back to this show anytime in the future. The door is always going to be open for you, sir.
Well, you're, again, very generous, and we appreciate it. And again, which would you rather have, dreams or memories?
God, I love the way you say that. I love that. You be brilliant today, okay, sir?
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.